I think we're back to where we were in early May with a possible variant on what's going on with North Korea. Yes, Peter definitely sounded like his main point was stock markets should be happy. We didn't get a date for new talks. We didn't get how much the Chinese are going to buy. We didn't get any details, but stock markets should be happy.
And, Andy, how do you see this? Does this mean that a deal is closer? It sounds as though the Huawei issue is being ameliorated, if not taken off the table.
Well, remember that Secretary Mnuchin claimed that back in May, before things blew up, they were 90% close to a deal. So that's back on track. And I take Peter Navarro's words as a very optimistic approach to that. But more importantly, for me, was what the president had to say over the last few days about his meeting with Xi. He talked about a strategic partnership. He talked about welcoming Chinese students back. He talked about allowing American companies to sell to Huawei. So I think he really kind of threw his national security team under the bus here by emphasizing the trade relationships and engagement rather than a confrontational approach to China. And that's a very positive change from just a week ago.
It seems that way. Derek, though, at the same time, what is going on in Hong Kong, I'm wondering how that factors in at all. I mean, President Xi is a nationalist at heart. He believes in the power of the Communist Party and consolidating that power. And what's going on in Hong Kong may threaten that power. And I'm wondering if he could be taking a harder line in the weeks to come because of that backdrop.
I agree that President Xi I would actually call him a brutal dictator beyond being a nationalist. I do think Hong Kong is a potential threat to U.S. China talks. The rallies in Hong Kong have lasted longer than I expected, at least. And the Chinese have been, from their standpoint, patient. I don't expect Xi Jinping to be patient forever. So there is a wild card. I mentioned a wild card being North Korea on the positive side. On the negative side for the talks, Hong Kong could be a wild card if the protests there continue.
Andy, where are the opportunities right now, stock-wise, investment-wise, if you believe that there is a deal on the horizon?
Well, I think that hasn't changed. China remains the world's best consumer story. You've got retail sales in real terms growing at over 6%. You've got income growing in real terms at over 8%. It's a fantastic consumer story with a middle class that's now as big as America's middle class, and that's where we're looking for opportunities for our clients.
So it's more along the Tencents of the world, the Alibabas, the domestically facing Chinese companies as opposed to manufacturers or state-owned enterprises.
That's right. Chinese companies selling goods and services, and not just internet companies, but names that might be less familiar for your viewers, but any Chinese company selling goods and services to Chinese consumers.